welcome back to my channel and welcome the newcomers. I hope you like what you see, and if so, be part of this journey by hitting that subscription button. It's free, and hit the bell notification to be notified of the new uploads. I would just like to mention that if the video is a little bit too fast for you, up top there's 3 little buttons. You can click there, slow down the video to the speed you'd like. Also, right next to it, there's the CC letters for closed caption. You can turn that on, and you can read all the stitch that I'm calling down here. By pausing the video, take notes, will make it easier for you. Now, normally when I upload the videos, it takes about an hour for YouTube to search all my words that I'm saying, so it can appear on the closed captions. So don't panic if you don't see right away the closed captions, because the video has just been launched. It will show up in about a half an hour to an hour after the upload. I also would like to mention that if you have extra yarn, extra thread, and you'd like to help the women in need, we highly appreciate it and being very, very grateful for it. Thank you for the ones that already have helped and are still helping. If you'd like to donate, right below the video, there's a little bag of $. You can donate whatever amount you'd like. Nobody's asking for millions. Anything helps. It adds up at the end. You can also go into the description box. My PayPal account is there. You can donate through there if you'd like also. Please always give a thumbs up on the video if you like the video. It does help the video to circulate and also to be recognized worldwide. I gratefully appreciate it. Thank you so much. That's one way to help me out and to help to continue to create these beautiful pieces. Also share on your Facebook public. It costs nothing. Everything is free. There's no charge of anything. So please help out to grow the channel. I do have a Facebook group, private group. If you have a profile, you're more than welcome to request to be a member. It's free, of course, and we'll approve you. You must have a profile. Be careful with the links that you go into the groups that says cut and bit. These are fraud scammers that go through your phones, your computers, and take every information of yours. Do not open up those links. There's a lot of hackers in the groups now. That's why I made sure that my group is private. I want to thank every single one of you from the start being with me, and thank you so much for the newcomers. It costs nothing to subscribe, so please do so. Thank you so much, everybody. Everything will be listed always in the description box for every pattern that I create, the sizes, the thread that I use, which is Portugal thread. They're 100% cotton thread, 4-ply, which is similar to Aunt Lydia. Number 3, which number 3 Aunt Lydia is just a little bit thicker than my thread, not by much, but a little bit. I usually use a hook 3 or 3.5, a small one for tucking in loose ends, and a pair of scissors, of course. So thank you, everybody. Any other questions, suggestions, please feel free to comment. You can always get a hold of me if your intentions are to give some thread or yarn away. There's my email below the description box. There's my Facebook page that you can follow also, my Facebook group, my Instagram, my TikTok. So there's so many ways you can message me. Thank you so much, everybody. I hug every single one of you, and much blessings to all of you. Okay, let's get started. Okay, everyone, so today we're going to create another doily or placemat, obviously, because with doilies, you know, you can create them as placemats. This is a 4-ply, 100% cotton thread, similar to Aunt Lydia, number 3. Aunt Lydia is a little bit thicker, and actually I prefer the Aunt Lydia number 3 for doilies or placemats because they give you that perfect size, and with this one that's a little bit thinner, I always have to increase a few more rows to get the size that I need. So, but because I'm just doing the sample for you guys, if you want to create it, I've been asked many times to do heart shapes, so this will be a heart shape one. 275 hook. Of course, Aunt Lydia, you can use a 3.5 or a 4, obviously. A pair of scissors and a small one to tuck in loose ends. Now, when we start the beginning of doing the chain stitch, especially when it's the first one, always go with a bigger hook on your first chain stitch because it gives you that nice loosage on the chain stitch, and then come in with your smaller hook to do the second row and continue from there, because if you use the same one a lot of times it will tend to curve like a U shape, and that's not good. So that's because the tension on the first chain is too tight for the other row, so it will always give you that effect of a U shape turning, curving. We don't want that, so we use a bigger hook, a size let's say, okay, in this case this is a 3.5, and obviously I'll be using a 2.75, so I'm going quite a little bit higher, 2 size higher, or yeah, let me see, 3.2, and then 3.5, so 2 size higher on my hook. Okay, please don't forget to give a thumbs up on the video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. It helps the channel. Sharing is caring. All of these things go into factor, and it only helps us creators to continue with these tutorials. It's free. You guys don't pay anything for it. It doesn't hurt anybody to share and to give those thumbs up. I have a lot of views on my patterns, and a lot of people are creating. They're not subscribed, and they're not even giving thumbs up. It's kind of sad, you know. It really, you know, puts us down a bit as creators, because we come out of our way. We spend hours and endless weeks and months and years on these patterns to create them for you, and we don't get too many appreciation back, except for our loyal, you know, subscribers that have been there. And I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, every single one of you that always gives those thumbs up and always comment. You guys mean the world to me. I would appreciate if the rest of you that are not subscribed and do go through my channel and do create my pieces would, you know, give us a little bit of love and respect back by doing that. Please, not just to me, but to any other creator that you're watching videos. It's extremely important for us, okay? Thank you so much, everyone. So I'm going to use my bigger hook. I'm going to do a slip stitch knot. Now you should know this slip stitch knot is not counted for anything. Just going to try to see if I can zoom a little bit here. Now we're going to do 39 chain stitch, okay? And I'll meet you at the end, and try not to tighten your tension too much so your pattern won't start curving when we get to the second row. I've done my 39 chain. I'm going to do 3 more, and I'm going to hold my nail there. 1, 2, and 3. We're going to come back on the 4th chain, okay? So counting from here, 1, 2, 3 on the 4th one. We're going to do double crochet, and make sure that you're grabbing right on the center of those 2 loops, okay? You have to grab on the center of those 2. If you only grab on the back loop here, your pattern will curve. So you have to go in here and not here, okay? Oops, and I've been using the wrong one. Okay, so we only needed the big one for the chain. So 2 chain. I'm going to skip 1, 2. On my 3rd one, I'm going to do, again, 3 groups, 3 double crochets, not groups. So 1 per space, like that. 2 chain again, skip 1, 2 on my 3rd one, another 3 double crochets. So it is 1 per space. Just make sure that you're grabbing both loops, or you'll have a curve. I prefer it to curve up a bit, because the next row is going to straighten, then having it curve down here, then you cannot fix it. 2 chain, and again skip 1, 2 on your 3rd one, three double crochets. So now I have 4 groups of 3 double crochets, chain 2. Now we're going to skip. This time is going to be different. 1, 2, 3. On your 4th one, actually we don't skip here, sorry. I mean we don't do chain here. 1, 2, 3. On your 4th one, we go directly. There is no chain space here. I'm almost making a mistake here. Please always look ahead of the video because sometimes mistakes can be done, or change of plan. And I usually don't edit my videos when mistakes are done because it's a way of showing you how to fix it without taking it down. 1, 2 chain, and 1, 2 back to the 3rd space. We're going to repeat exactly the same thing as we did here, and all the way to the end. So we should have 4 groups again, including with this one, all the way to the end. So I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so we've reached the end. We did exactly the same thing on this side as we did on this side. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we didn't do a chain, no chain at all between the next one. We did again the 3 double crochets, 2 chain space, skip 2 chain, going to the 4th, 2 chain, skip 2 space into the 3rd, I should say, into the 3rd, not the 4th. The 4th was here on this one, sorry. Skip 2 space, going to the 3rd, 2 chain, skip 2 space, going to the 3rd. So we have the 4 groups again. Now we're going to do 1, 2. We're doing the curve, 2 chain. We're coming back in where we did the last double crochet of the group, and we're going to do a double crochet, 2 chain space again into the same space because we're doing the curve, and another double crochet, 2 chain space. So now we have 2 double crochets separated by 2 chain. I'm going to come in into the first space here because we just did the curve. I'm just going to tuck this in so it doesn't get in my way. Just going to take down 1 chain here. Now I rather always have extra chain than to be short, right? Because having extra you can take down, but if you're short, you're in trouble. So I'm going to come in through the loops here and just hide this leftover thread, and at least it will be out of my way. And so we're going to do 3 double crochet, same thing as the groups we were doing. Two chain again into the next space, 3 double crochets, two chain into the next space, okay. So now we have the 3 groups there because this is part of the corner. 2 chain. So now in the center where we did not give that chain space, we're going to do a shell here of 3 double crochet, two chain, and another 3 double crochet in the same space. Two chain, and we're going to continue to create those groups exactly like we did on this side. So basically that shell is like the point of the heart, right? Two chain, and we're just going to repeat all the way to the end. chain space into the last space here at the end, 2 chain. Now we must do the same thing as we did here with the 2 double crochets on this corner. So we have to come in the last space here, the last double crochet, create a double crochet, 2 chain, and another double crochet, 2 chain, and close it up on the 3rd double crochet here up top. Okay, so we can have the same 2 double crochets here as we have on here. So basically this is going to shape already. Try to get you better on camera. It's going to shape already the heart shape, okay? Where we have the shells will always be shells until almost the end. Okay, so we continue on. So we're going to do the walk. I call it the walk with the slip stitch into the center of the first space here, this square, with a single 2 chains. We have to create those groups of 3 again. 2 chain into the next square space, create the group again, and remembering what you're doing on one side you have to do on the other. So 3 double crochets again. Now where we have the 2 groups here with no chain space, we are going to skip this completely into the next space so we can start forming that heart shape. And we're going to continue to do the 3 double crochets. I'll show you in a second. 2 chain space, and continue again your groups until we get to the corner. So getting that heart shape then to go up, right? Okay. So we're getting to the corner into the first chain where we have the double crochets along there. And we're going to create 3 double crochets per space here in between them. We're doing the curve of the corner. 2 chain into the next where the 2 double crochets are alone. Chain 2 into the next space with 3 double crochets. So pretty much forming that corner. 2 chain, creating your 3 double crochets again. Now remember I mentioned where we did the shell, we'll always do a shell. When we come to this side, we need to jump. We do not work anywhere inside here, exactly like we did on this row. Chain 2, until we meet here and do a shell again. I reach the center of the shell, I'm creating the shell again. Chain 2, back in, create your 3 double crochets. Chain 2, and continue to create again the same thing, the 3 double crochets, 2 chain space, and we're going to repeat the same thing again until we close here. Okay, so I'll meet you here. We have to repeat the same thing on here. So basically you do your 3 double crochets, 2 chain space, come into the first double crochet and the second, you group, and again 2 chain space, you group, and then 2 chain space. We're going to close it in. We're going to do the walk until the first square here with a slip stitch, right? Because we need to start the next row. Okay, so I've closed in with a slip stitch. I did the walk. I created my group. You do 2 chain, create again your 3 double crochet. Now it's going to just change a bit when we get to the corner. We have to do another shell at the corner, obviously, because we need to expand it. Now here is where we have the no chain, so we have to jump. Remember what I told you, here we jump, and on the other side we do the shell. Okay, 2 chain, and 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and 3 double crochet. So we're going to have 3 groups of 3 double crochet here, and the next one we're going to do a shell, 2 chain, coming into the first one here on the curve, and we're going to do 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and 3 more double crochet in the same space. And then we continue with the groups of 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and again 3 double crochet. So we're going to repeat the same thing, do the shell, continue to do the 3 double crochets until we get here. So you have to do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we have to do the shell, but I'll get there with you. Okay, so let's just continue on doing the groups. Okay, you guys, so we pretty much did this row here. We have, after we did the shell here on the corner, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We did the shell, so we have 5 groups. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We did the shell exactly like we have it here, so it has to be in the same position. And then continue again with the groups. So we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now we're just going to continue with the groups. Of course, you know you're going to skip from here to here. So we're going to do the walk with a slip stitch. Sometimes the sun just like really flies in. It's been really horrible weather here in the island. It's been raining like for a month now. So we're going to do 3 double crochets, the groups, nothing changes here, 2 chain, and we're going to skip directly into the next space and create your 3 double crochets. Okay, so you know that we make no chains here, we skip directly. Okay. Okay, so we've jumped, we did another group, and again, I'll just pull the camera here a bit. So we have 2 groups so far on this side. Obviously we didn't get to this side yet. 2 chain. Now here on my 3rd group, I'm going to do another shell just before the shell on the corner. Okay, so 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and 3 more double crochet, chain 2, and create your shell here where the shell is. Three double crochet, 2 chain, and 3 more. Okay, so we have 2 shells. We're going to create another shell. So chain 2, and in here we're creating another shell. So I'll have 3 groups of shells on this corner and on the next corner too. Okay, so we have a shell, shell, and shell. And then proceed again with the groups of 3 double crochet and repeat the same thing on the other corner. Remembering that you have to do the shell here on the center on this side, right? So you just turn it this way. So we'll have so we have 2 groups of 3 right after we create the shell, 2 chain, shell, 2 chain, and shell. And we'll do the same thing here. So if we have 2 groups here, we know we need 2 groups here. So we'll have shell, shell, and shell. Because then you can count how many you have here of groups. We do the shell, count how many you're going to do here, the squares, right? Same amount down here you have to have out in here to start doing shells. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, you guys, so we've reached the end with a slip stitch. Now we got to do the walk with the slip stitch all the way to this end, because this is right on the center where we usually skip, right? So slip stitch till we get to the other side. Slip stitch. Again, coming into the center, I'm going to do a single, 2 chains. So we're going to create those 3 double crochets here on this side. Okay. Don't forget we have 3 shells here and 3 shells here. It's going to change up a bit again. So we're going to create again 3 groups of 3 double crocheting. So we have the first one right after the center, 2 chain, and in the center of the first shell we're doing only 3 double crochets. So we have 3 groups. Now the next one, not the next one, on the next space we're doing a shell, 2 chains. So right in here, we're going to create a shell, 3 double crochet, 2 chain, three more double crochet on the same space. Okay, so we count 1, 2, 3 groups on the next space shell, 2 chain, and here we're going to create again just 3 double crochet where we have the second shell, 2 chain, and on this space here we're creating a shell, 1, 2, 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and 3 more in the same space to create that shell, 2 chain, and where we have the last shell we're doing just 3 double crochet. We're going to repeat the same thing on the other side. Okay, so let's just recap that. So we did the walk with the slip stitch, we did a group, another group, so we have 3 groups of 3 double crochet, chain 2, shell. In the next space we have 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and again shell, 2 chain, and double crochet and 3 double crochets. Okay, so now you just repeat the double crochets here, the groups, 3 double crochet, 2 chain. Now of course it's very simple to know where you're going to place it on the next corner. We know that we're going to have to create the shell here on the center, so you're going to count how many groups here you have, you'd count how many groups here you have, and you just copy and do your shells in the proper space on this side, right? So I'll meet you at the end. Okay, you guys, so we finished this row. Now I've just closed in with a slip stitch. There is no chain in the center here, as you know. Now this next row is very simple. It's just groups of 3 double crochets on all the spaces. So I'm did the walk into the next space and create your 3 double crochets. There is no shells on this row, so except of course when we come to the end here. So just create the groups all the way around. If there's any changes, I'll come back to you on it. So even where we have the shells, we're going to create only groups of 3 double crochets on the sides, of course, on the corners. So we have the shell here. We're only doing 3 double crochets, and we're going to proceed to continue this way. Okay. Okay, everyone, so I've reached the end. I've closed in with a slip stitch. I'm going to do the walk with a slip stitch to my next square. I'm going to build those squares again. Now this corner will change again with 3 shells again. So we're going to do 3 groups of 3 double crochet before we do our shell, our first shell. So we have our second group, our third, two chain, and now we're going to create our shell here, our first shell. We're going to have a total of 3 shells on this corner again. 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and 3 double crochet, 2 chain. We're going to do a group of 3 double crochet only, and you're going to repeat the same thing on the other side. All you have to do is just count and follow through. 2 chain again. Now we're going to create the second shell on this one. Two chain, 3 more double crochet on the same space, 2 chain again. We're going to create 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and we're creating our third shell here right after. And then proceed again with your groups until you meet in the other corner. Remembering to do your shell here on the center. So it's just a repeat now. So this is just create the last shell here so there is no errors. And then just groups again of 3 double crochet per space, per square, right? Okay, let's just recap that. So group, we did the walk, group, first group, second group, third group, create your shell. 1 group alone, create your shell. 1 group alone, create your third shell. Okay, and then now just the groups, create your shell in the center, count how many you have here, of groups, and then start your first shell, obviously on this end, and just follow through. Okay? Okay, you guys, so we pretty much finished this row. I'm going to do the walk with a slip stitch until here, the first square. I'm going to do a single, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're almost done. Into the next space, single, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Into the next space. So this row is only chains of 4 all the way around. The only thing that's going to change is in the bottom here where we have the shell. I'll come back to you here at the bottom. Everywhere else is just chain of 4s into the space. Okay? So we're almost at the center in the bottom. I'm going to do my 4 chain. I'm going to come into a single and 1, 2, 3, 4 chain again. I'm coming back into the same center and creating a little loop here, okay? Then 1, 2, 3, 4, and proceed the same way until the end. Okay? So only loops of chain 4 all the way around. I'll meet you here at the end. So we're almost at the end. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to come into the center here where we normally skip. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm coming into the single where we started. Okay? Now, I'm going to continue on. So I'm going to come in to the first one here, actually, and come in with a single, okay, and 2 chain. We're going to come in again, double crochet. So now we're going to start filling this in with double crochets. So I have 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have 9 double crochets. Next one, single, next space, 9 double crochets again. And then a single into the next one, and just repeat. So you know that you're going to always put a single into the next space and repeat your 9 double crochets. Okay? So I'll meet you here at the edge on the bottom of the heart. Okay, so we've reached the edge here. No difference. We're going to create the 9 double crochets and proceed all the way around the same way. And I'll meet you at the end. Then a single, and again the same thing. Okay? Okay, you guys, so I'm reaching the end right where we started with the chains. I'm going to do this time 3 chains. 1, 2, 3. Coming in where we have the single with a single. 1, 2, 3. And closing it off with a slip stitch. I'm going to do the walk into the next double crochet. So I'm skipping the first one. I'm doing single, 1, 2, 2 chain. Coming into the next one, double crochet. Into the next one, 3 double crochet. Into the next one, 4 double crochet. And into the next one, 5, 6, and 7. I'm coming directly where we have the single and doing a single. I'm skipping the first double crochet and I'm coming into the second, and we have only one more row left, and continue. So we'll have 7 double crochets this time. So we're not doing the first double crochet and we're not doing the last. And like I said, if you want to keep it as is, the way it is now, you can. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Coming into the single. And we're going to repeat that all the way around. Okay, you guys, so we've reached the end where we have the chain. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 chain. I'm going to come back in where I have the chain. Single. 1, 2, 3. See if this works. If it doesn't, we'll do something else. I think that'll work. Actually, yes, that'll work. So we have the bottom chain, 2 chain, and my 3rd chain. Thought I was missing something there, but I guess it was just my vision. Okay, so now you could either continue with on the last row with the same thread, or you can cut it like I'm going to. I'm going to use gold. This is optional for you if you want to do the same thing. If not, then you can just leave it as it was when I mentioned it to you, or you can just leave it now too the same way. I'm going to do the picots now at the end and finalize this. Okay. Oh, beautiful is that placemat or doily, right? So I have my gold. I'm going to do a slip stitch knot, and I'm going to leave a little bit of a string so I can tie it all together at the end, because this is a nylon thread and it's thinner. Now I want to give it a nice little effect here, so I'm going to come in on my first double crochet here. Now, like I said, this is optional. You don't have to. This is just slip stitch through each chain here, or chain space I should say, in between the 2 rows. And I'm sure that some of you that follow me know that I do this a lot to my patterns, especially now that it's the holidays. You want to have a nice decoration on your table, especially if you're doing placemats. It's just beautiful. So basically all the way around, 1 per space. Okay. Okay, you guys, coming to where we have the chain. So we're just going to come in the chain and do the same thing. Just slip stitch through the 3 chain that we did. Then into the single, and then proceed again. Okay, you guys, so I pretty much did the slip stitch. Trying to get a little bit more lighting here so it doesn't look weird. I'm not going to cut my thread, but I am going to pull my thread to the back so I can go directly. I mean, if you want to cut your thread, that's fine. So I can go directly into the top. Try to get it probably with a thinner one. So I'm just going to grab it and pull it to the back. Okay, so I'm going to come in my first double crochet and do 1, 2, 3, and I'm just going to come in between, so it's like a picot without being a picot, without closing it in. Okay, into the next one, 1, 2, 3, into the same one with a single. Next space, we're going to do this all the way around. I'm pretty much done with it, and then we can cut our thread, and we're done with this heart shape placemat doily. So 1 per space. Obviously, when you come here to the end, I'm going to see if I'm going to come through the chain or I'm going to go directly into the next space. I'll see as I go. Now, I run out of this gold, so I have a different gold down here. Because this is just a sample, it's all good to me. Okay, so I'm going to continue mine. I'll meet you here at the end to see how I'm going to finish that off. Also, you can go directly into the next one and go on the first double crochet and create your picot, or you can just come where the single is, do a single, and then proceed again onto the first double crochet, create your 3 chain, and into that one and that space in between. Oops. And then just continue through the same way. Whatever works best for you. You can go directly, I think, by coming actually do the single, and let's just go directly into the center between the first and the second double crochet. I think that makes more sense. And I'll leave this one here, but you can do the same, just go in between. Sometimes, you have to do a bit to see if it works that way. And if we like, we let it be. If not, we just make a little adjustment. I'm going to leave it the way it is now, that first one, because it makes no difference on the pattern. But everything else, I'm going directly from one space here into the next. Okay? And I'll see how I'm probably just going to come and do the same thing here. I'm going to come directly from here after my picot into this, a single, and then just attach it on here with a slip stitch. Okay? Okay, you guys, so I've reached the end. I'm going to come directly where the single is, and then directly into where I started my single here. Cut off, tuck in your loose ends, and you're pretty much done. And look how stunning that is. Beautiful doily placemat. Okay, so I'll have the pictures reveal shot at the end. I'll set it up maybe with a plate, little coffee plate, saucer, things like that. And you can see how wonderful it looks. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here, part of this journey with me. Please don't forget to give a thumbs up on the video. It's extremely important. Now, because my thread is a little bit smaller than Aunt Lydia, obviously it will be smaller. So 31 centimeters. And I'll see you in the next tutorial. Okay? Look how beautiful that looks. Thank you so much, everyone. Until next time. Bye-bye.